So we're back at the house, and this is a mammoth task, and we've been putting it off for a long time. My excuse was I was pregnant, Andy was struggling, and we just didn't want to deal with it when we probably should have done it a long time ago. So come and see what we're tackling.
We're making a great big pile of all of the stuff that we've been storing from Steel Melody and several other boats, and it's all coming out of these two big garages, and we're going to see what needs to go back to the boats. And the reason for all of this is the effort to get out of the house as quickly as we humanly can.
And Clyde and Andrew have come to help. So this is the room of doom. It's a little embarrassing, but this is full of boat bits.
So this lot here is one garage worth. We actually had a dog grooming room in there. It's one garage worth of boat rubbish, some of which is going back on Steel Melody.
Yeah, some of which is going on Ocean Melody.
And some of which is going straight in the bin.
And some of it will be going on eBay.
Some
so
of
if
it
you see anything that you want,
if you can see anything here that you want, let us know, and we'll go, no, we're keeping that, or yes, you can make us an offer on it.
It's a start of having less.
Yeah. What we're going to do now is clean up like this. 1, 2, 3. There you go. All gone.
Yeah.
Mysteriously, it's not really. We've just hidden it. No, it's all in the trailer, ready to go to Steel Melody, and then we've got another pile that we're going to put back in the room to sort for stuff to sell and stuff to keep.
Yeah.
Look at where we are. We are back here, back on Steel. Oh, I miss this boat. We've not had a chance to work on her too much the last few months, but she's in great condition still. And we've got a trailer full of stuff that's going back on her. So we're going to get the washboards out, and we'll get all of the stuff, all the tools that we took off before the winter and have been using. We'll get all of that stuff back on this boat so that we can now carry on doing work to Steel Melody. And we all know what this means. It means welding, and it means chain plates, because there's several chain plates left to done. We've only done 2 of them, so let's crack on with it. Okay, so let me show you what we've done. These are the chain plates that Nigel did last year, and those 2 are done. But there are 7 more to do, I think 7 more. And the 2 that I'm going to try and tackle today, I may get more done, but I'm targeting myself at 2. These 2, the corresponding pair the other side. These, by the way, are just holes so that you can mount external frames or shutters on the windows. I'll clean those up, they need just a bit of surface treatment. But those are the original chain plates. which have rusted on the outside. And what we do is we cut a slot here and post the new one in on the inside, so the new one actually welds to the original one. Because we've got 3mm thick skin, 10mm thick what's left of the old chain plate, which of course inside the boat is in perfect condition, and then the new 10mm thick chain plate welds onto that. You can see the end result this side, 4mm thick steel, the chain plate, and then the new chain plate welded on top. Hopefully that shouldn't take me too long. So come and have a look over here. Oh, it's bright. Here they are. See, that's the stubby bit of the old chain plate which was cut off flush. I'm going to mark and drill the new one on the inside of that. So just inboard. So it's moving it inboard by 10mm, and that 10mm difference won't change the rigging geometry at all. It won't make the slightest bit of difference. It'll be an extra turn less, I think, on the bottle screw, if that. So probably not even that. Oh, I do love this boat. I do love this boat. And genuinely, those of you who think that you know, Ocean Melody was our original plan, it wasn't. Our original plan was this boat, and I put so much time and work and energy and effort and love into this boat, and the only reason we've changed is because Melissa got pregnant. And yeah, there's no denying Ocean Melody is a vastly superior sailing vessel, but this is a better expedition vessel. She's a much better expedition vessel. She can go to high latitudes and she can batter through the storms with her pilot house. There's a lot going for this boat. Top up the electric. Here it's on a meter, so you can't just plug in and get on with it and pay a bill. They've got card meters, and that's the only thing. I love this yard, by the way. I love this yard. I love the vibe here, the guys here, the lads. It's just a no fuss, no muss, easy to get on with everybody, easy to work yard, and yeah, it's great. But the only thing I don't like is the metering system, because the electric meter has got one thing to put your cards in, and these are £1 each, and you buy, so I've got 10 of them here, but they you plug in, and then there are 3 outlets on each meter, so I'm plugged in and somebody else is using my electric, which is like, I'm only here very rarely, but there you go. I guess just that's just the way it is, isn't it? Well, somebody's unplugged me anyway. Plug it in here. 1, 2, 3. One thing I do have to be careful of, though, is because we're not at the bottom end of a working yard now, and there are some nice boats around me which I'm going to be super careful of. So I'm actually, this might not make for such good viewing as it used to, but I'm actually going to be doing my cutting and grinding with all my PPE on, and with this green tarp kind of slung over me like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I don't know how much of the actual dynamic shots you're going to get of sparks flying and all that kind of stuff, which was really cool when we used to do it, but I can't really do that here because I don't really want to shower Judy B in sparks, do I? I've got my slot cut. I need to now go and plug the welder in and pass the torch out and get that chain plate tacked in place, and then I can weld it up proper like. Going to tack this in place first, just make sure it's right before I weld it up and discover it's wrong. Okay, so that's one down, several more to go. Okay, so there's two done. That's the, I forgot, yeah, I've got the two forward ones to do. So that is the aft lowers and the cap shrouds. Nigel's done those two on that side, and his welds are a lot neater than mine. I don't know if you can see, but there's mine. And they're welded all around the outside and the inside. I'm probably going to nibble at them with the grinder just to tidy them up, because Nigel's a much better welder than me, but mine are dead strong and there's really good penetration, so I'm really happy with that. I need to stop for a minute because I'm boiling. Gonna have a drink. Now the forward two lowers don't go all the way through. Allow me to show you. I don't, ooh, flipping heck. I don't know if you can see, but up there's actually a scorch mark, and that's precisely where the forward lower is. And it doesn't even come through the deck to the inside. It's just welded to the outside of the deck. And I was asking another engineer about the calculations for this, and I can't remember what they said, but it's something like the amount of strength per inch of weld is phenomenal. All of these chain plates really could have just been butt welded, you know, round the bottom of the plate and just stood upright like a Jenga brick and welded round the bottom, and that would have been more than enough. So the fact that they come through the hull, yeah, on a fiberglass boat you need to do that because you need to spread the load over an enormous area, but on a steel boat it's just the strength that's in these chain plates compared to what they actually need to be is ludicrous, absolutely ludicrously large amount of strength for what they are. So good, I'm going to have a quick break, have a drink. I bet I'm a mess. I haven't got my air respirator on, I can't find it, so my nose is probably really black, and that's something I'm aware of, guys. I do use a respirator when I'm cutting and grinding and welding, but I haven't got it with me. I thought it was here and it's not, so press on. Right, drink, rest for a minute, and then the forward two lowers, the forward lowers. I'm rambling now. Yeah. While I'm here and I'm having a quick break, I think I'm just going to empty the bits of rainwater out the bottom of the bilge. Obviously over winter there's been dribbles of water got in, and there's about maybe 1/4 of an inch of water in the bottom of the engine bilge. So I'm going to try and get the worst. I mean, the thing is, there's that little, it's not even coming out. I've got my my bilge pump on a stick down there, and there isn't even enough to get down there. God, the place is a mess. I've just ripped everything out of the cupboards and what have you. It is literally just rainwater, that. I'm using my handy little bilge pump on a stick to get it out until there's just enough there for me to get out with a mop and bucket. It's, you know, it's crystal clear. I'm not putting anything nasty down there, don't worry. There you go, that took all of 2 minutes. There's hardly any water in there. There's like not enough for the bilge pump to pick up now, so next time I come I'll bring a mop and bucket. Another job done. Now back to welding. As I just described, the chain plate in the heads there doesn't come through the deck, and neither does the one in this cupboard here, which is the corresponding opposite side. However, I can't really do that side today because that means ripping out a load of that wall, which is pretty manky anyway, so that's fine. But I'm going to do this side, I think, and then I'm back. Unless something goes wrong, I'm back tomorrow to carry on. So this little, again, that's what the remains of the original chain plate that's stuck up. So I'm going to cut that flush. I might mark it first, so I don't lose my marks, and then just butt weld the top one, because this doesn't go through. Wind isn't blowing anything anywhere, so I've got a little bit of time to make this next cut before I have to vacuum up the dust. But it is a constant thing that I'm doing, is vacuuming up, as you may well have noticed. Oh, ow. You swine. That's foolish. Took my gloves off. Ah, right, I need to just chamfer that edge a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I've done 3 chain plates on that side. There's one more to do there, forward lower on the port side, on the starboard side. There's the baby stay chain plate at the front there, and there's the 2 backstays. And my plan is to have a crack at them tomorrow. And if I can get here early tomorrow, I should be able to do 4 in a day, because I did 3 in an afternoon today. But you never know when you start these chain plates what issues you're going to encounter along the way. And you know, you think 3's taken me a few hours, so in theory I should be able to do 4 in a day, but 1 might take a day if I encounter a problem or I cock it up, which is just as likely. Right, I'm going to tidy up like that, kind of tidy. I've not painted round the chain plates yet, and there's a bit of sort of mental psychology here, which is, should I get out a pot of paint and paint them now, meaning that they're protected overnight just in case I can't get back here tomorrow? Or should I not paint them round here tonight because I'm going to have more to do tomorrow, and if I don't paint them tonight it means I've got to come back tomorrow? I think I'm going to do that because it forces my hand. Yeah. See you tomorrow.
I'm in my bedroom in the aft cabin. There's a cupboard in my bedroom that's a bit damp, and I think that it's from those bolts there. I'm not entirely sure. There is something, there's that thing over there for the ropes, and I can't remember what they're called, that is screwed on through here, and I think they might be the ones, those bolts, that might be causing the problem. So what I'm going to do is, well, I've already done this part. I've collected a bit of toilet paper. I'm going to put it underneath the bolts, and then I'm going to get a water bottle, the big water bottles, and pour it all over the top of the rope thingy. I can't remember what they're called. That's not going to work. Is it working? Yeah. But here, this is the deck fitting that's a bit leaky. So unscrew that. Now let's see what happens. Oh look, there's a bit of dripping over here on top. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's just right there. A bit of drip running down the wire. But the weird thing is, it's not coming from any of these bolts. All of these bolts are absolutely fine. Let's just check them. Dry, 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 as far as I can tell. But they're coming from these old screw holes right here. Oh wait, no, they're not. Actually, yeah, they are. Are they? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, they're coming from them. But those aren't from the deck train, are they? Are they from the teak? No, they're not. They're not from the teak. There's no screw holes in the teeth. Let's just check. What is there? Aha! I think it's the, what are they called again? Halyards? I can't remember anything today, but I think they're called halyards. This bit here, this metal bit, the metal wire, it is coming from that, I think. Pardon? Yeah, from the chain plate. Oh wait a second, no, the chain plate's not in there.
Following on from what Andy did with the fridge, he put the fridge in and I have put the galley back together. I've managed to find some shelves to put in here, so we've got food storage again. And for now, I've put all the pots and pans in the top loader freezer that doesn't work. So we've got the fridge there and everything that I need to cook in there. It's the middle of the day. I haven't even managed to brush my hair yet, as you can see. Ollie has not wanted to settle much, but there's a few things that I want to try and get done today because the sun is coming out. Last week I filmed me starting to make some blinds and we lost all the footage, so I'm going to continue on with that. The blinds, it's a bit of a bomb site in here, but the blinds that I've started making are here. I need to nip into town to get some supplies to finish making them, just because the sun is shining and blinding us and it's lovely, but it would be nice to be able to pull down one blind. And also, if you look up there, that's the outer harbour wall, and I noticed the other day that you can see straight into our boat, so at night time it'd be quite good to be able to shut the blinds so we're not in a goldfish bowl. I've also, Ollie has finally settled on Jack. Yeah, he's got a bit of a tummy ache today. He's not feeling it. He's not feeling it.
No.
And it's warm. But this is one of his favourite places to be. It's on his big brother's lap. Oh, right, I feel a bit better now. I do feel that sometimes, some days, just washing your hair and putting some makeup on is an achievement in itself whilst having a 4-week-old baby. But we need to get moved onto this boat, so got to push a little bit harder than washing your hair and putting some makeup on, but some days that's fine. But we have made it out in the sunshine.
Sunshine.
It's quite funny really, throughout the end of my pregnancy, because it was a bit difficult and I was limited to what I could do. I kept thinking, oh, it's alright, I won't be pregnant soon. I kind of forgot that I'd have a tiny human attached to me 24/7. So I'm feeling, and it might sound silly, but I think it's a reality for lots of new mums, especially mums that do a lot around boats or house builds or whatever. I'm feeling a little bit useless. So I'm trying to do little tasks to make myself feel like I'm achieving something. Just want to say a quick thank you as well. We came to the boat the other day and there was this little gift bag in the cockpit and a card and a little present, which is very cute, from Pete and Jackie. Thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you. So in between feeding and settling Ollie, feeding Jack, taking Jack to the park, I've managed to do this blind and And then this one's half done because I've run out of magnets. And there's still this window and this window. And there's that lolly sleeping. Yeah, so I need to order some more magnets, but I'm quite pleased. My method worked, which is good. So yeah, so here we go. Take this blind down. I struggled with this one because of the shape here. And then snap, snap, and they're great. And if you want to, you can just remove them completely, like so.
What are you doing?
I'm sorting out a new mattress for the 4-peak because the one that we've got in there is not suitable. So I have been in, and Andy has helped me, and we have made a load of complicated measurements because the boat hull obviously tapers in at the bottom, so you've got to cut it on an angle because otherwise you've got a big void that you end up rolling in. Eventually we'd like to have custom made mattresses, but that's going to be a big investment one day. But for now our backs will just have to cope with foam. Right, so the bottom measurement is 395. Okay. Right, so that's the underside. That is the underside. Now I've got to flip it and measure the wider bit on the top. Full mattress. Oh, why haven't we slept this way?
Here's your mattress protector.
The mattress cover.
Hey,
Right, no, we need to get the other piece. We're getting distracted and Ollie's going to wake up.
oh no. It's comfy.
And then we need to put bed sheet on.
It's really comfy.
It's really comfy. So, I've got some pieces cut in the bottom there, but this is a whole piece. Eventually we're going to have to cut it in half to make the access easy to the lockers underneath, which is a pain because when you've got a divide in the mattress it always means that you kind of roll into it. But I can't think of an alternative. If anyone can think of one, let me know. See if it gets Ollie's seal of approval. Have you got lots of fun? How did you not want to be somewhere different when you woke up?
Yeah, and as I thought, hit delays. The two back chain plates, the rear aft chain plates for the backstays, go through the aft deck, which is fine. But underneath the aft deck, there is a thick 10mm spreader plate, very sensible. But that means you're drilling through the 3mm deck, and then there's a void, obviously, because that's been welded on. And then there's the 10mm spreader plate. And it's really difficult to drill through two plates up against each other like that without shattering the drill bits. I haven't broken one yet, but going through all of that is flattening the batteries on my battery drill really quickly, and I haven't got my AC drill with me. It's not a problem, it's just taking a lot longer than I thought. So I'll show you once I've got that chain plate in place. Right, I've got one positioned. You see I've been cutting under the tarp again. So this is the chain plate now, and it's cut on an angle, but it slots into there nicely, and I can weld that to the base plate underneath. And I can also weld it to what's left of the old chain plate, and of course weld it all the way around. The irritating thing is my slots with my slitter disc had to be a little bit long to go through the thickness of the steel underneath. I hope that makes sense. So obviously when it's just a 3 or 4mm skin, it's not too bad, but going through the 10mm bit underneath was I had to make the slots a bit longer, but that's okay. I can weld those up and grind them back, it's not a problem. Yay, I've welded in one of the aft chain plates. That's one of the ones I was most worried about. One of the backstay chain plates. Allow me to show you. Hang on. So I'll turn you round. There you go. That's one of the backstay chain plates. As I say, I had to just weld a little bit further to fill in those little slits from the slitter disc, and I can now weld that on the underneath as well. Well, I can't show you that bit, that's just ridiculously difficult to get to, and certainly impossible to film. But that's fine. I'm really pleased with that. I just need to do the other one. Well, the wind's picked up, and it's a bit blustery. It might calm down again. I've done both the rear chain plates are welded in. I've also off camera welded on the two handles for the swim platform. So I've welded those back on. I haven't got any paint mixing pots, and I haven't got any lunch. So I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes, and I'll be painting, I think, instead of welding this afternoon. Right, so I'm back. I've got painting stuff. I've got mixing pots and stirry thingies, and I'm gonna mix some paint up and get some paint on all the areas I've been welding. It's still a little bit breezy. Need some tunes on. This is where I'm going to replace my tunes that I've got on Spotify with, that's not an ad for Spotify by the way, with something else, because if I put this music on I'll get demonetized. Changing the music now then. Right, well, the big camera's down there, and I'm not going to fetch it because I've painted myself into an awkward spot. I've got my ladder here that I can climb up, but he's climbing up a very steep ladder and then over the push pit. Let me just show you what I've achieved. There's some areas in the cockpit which look disgusting, and that's just they've previously been sorted and painted, but they've got grubby over winter, so don't worry about that. That's just dirt that will wash off with the jet wash. The stuff that I've done today, I've re-prepped and painted the bathing platform as well, because that was getting really grubby, and I've taken the lid out, so I need to do the inside of the bathing platform stroke sugar scoop, because that's where the fenders ropes are going to go. It's almost like a little lacerette. Let me show you. So we've got one chain plate there, and I've put a what's it on it, a toggle on, just to make sure that they can get the angle right for the backstay, and that's got a full range of movement. The aft end of the cockpit I've repainted just because I had some paint left in the pot. There's another backstay chain plate there. I've re-welded on the grab rails, as I said, and the sugar scoop is all painted now, so that's nice. I spent quite a lot of time prepping that, but you can see the inside of the bathing platform. And then coming forwards, I've not painted the whole coach roof, that's silly, but I've painted all the way along the side there. I'll go round the other way actually, because I'm gonna probably catch this paint. Oh, I'm all right. There you go. So again, this is all grubby. That's just, you know, rain grubbiness from the winter, and it'll come off with a jet wash. But you can see the white paint where I've gone along the edge. So there's our 3 new stainless chain plates on that side. So the only ones left to do now are that one there, which is the forward lower on the which way am I? Starboard side, and this one here, which is the baby stay chain plate. All in all, I'm really happy with what I've achieved over the last couple of days. I set out to do 2 chain plates, thinking that would be a reasonable thing to try and achieve. And I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done 3 on the port side and the 2 backstay chain plates and 2 grab rails, and managed to paint it all out and do some prep and what have you as well. So that's a real huge step forward, and it means that there's almost no welding left to do on the boat now. There's just a couple of tiny little patches underneath, which will be another couple of days most likely, and then we're ready to start looking at putting the keel back in. There is a repair to do on the keel as well. Anyway, thanks very, very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I hope you've enjoyed being back on Steel Melody as much as I have. I really miss this old girl, and I really wish we didn't have to get rid of her. We will do eventually. Maybe we'll buy her back one day. Anyway, bye for now, and see you next week.